morning and welcome to the chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rhonda Launer.
And I'm Chuckalicious, Chuck Williams.
And it's that time of the year. Everybody gets out in the yard. We had some beautiful weather over the last couple of weekends. And today we're going to be joined by Dr. Kelly Cope. She's a professor and extension specialist in the Plant, Soil, and Climate Department at Utah State University. We're going to talk about, with Earth Month soon to be underway in the month of April, homeowners out about in the yard taking steps to make sure their lawns are in tip-top shape for the summer. Also, April is National Lawn Care Month, so there's no better time to turn attention back to that grass. Dr. Cope, welcome to the show. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Got to put that. Dr. Cope is a native Texas girl.
Yes.
So she's from San Antonio, so welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Cope, it seems to me, I'm from the East Coast. How do you sustain a lawn? To me, you just grab some grass seed and throw it out there and then water it like the devil. What else do I need to do?
Well, my first suggestion would be don't water it like the devil. Maybe think a little bit about how much it actually needs, because, of course, I know you all in Texas and me here in Utah, water is a big issue. And so we want to be efficient with that. But to answer your question a little bit more, one of the best things that you can do, especially at this time of year, is think about that first fertilization that you might do on your lawn, because that's going to help it get off on the right foot and be really strong as it enters those hotter summer months, so that it can survive and thrive even through those tougher times. So that would be one of my biggest recommendations.
Well, okay, so you just made me think of a question then. You said first fertilization. How many fertilizations should there be through the year?
Well, a lot of that's going to depend on what you want to get out of the lawn. So I'll just give you a typical homeowner type situation, which I would consider a medium level of maintenance. That kind of situation, you'd be looking at 3 to 4 fertilizations over the growing season. So spring, late summer, and then fall.
Dr. Cope, you talked about, of course, you're out in Utah right now. We're here in West Texas. Water is a premium here. And the suggestion, you're seeing more and more people doing zero landscaping, using native grasses and plants instead of the traditional Bermuda, Kentucky, or so on. How does a person get into that avenue of the native grasses, the native flora, and the different varieties in turf grass?
That is a great question. And actually, looking at native grasses, or at least grasses that are well adapted to your area, is a great thing to do. And so, for example, in Texas, some that come to mind for me would be buffalo grass, blue grama. There's another grass called curly mesquite. And the point being that there are native grasses to anywhere in the country, certainly there in Texas, certainly here in Utah. And those can be good choices, but you also have to keep in mind how the area will be used. They may not necessarily be as tolerant of traffic as some of the grasses that you mentioned, which are not native perhaps to Amarillo, but certainly well adapted. So you can make choices about what you'd like to do. Certainly we make a lot of choices here based on water, as you do. And so we might choose some of those very same native grasses to grow here because the water requirements will be very much less.
You know, you talk about the water requirements and everything like that. Here in Texas, isn't that some of the native grasses have to be hardier than others? That's true. But, I mean, you can't grow out here and grow a cactus on everything, you know. So, hey, what do you do?
Well, again, those native grasses can be one option. Some adapted grasses like Bermuda grass is another. And you can also, of course, look into other plant materials that might be appealing to you. There are resources available in every state. I happen to know that in Texas, Texas A&M University is a great resource for plant information. But the thing I would say whether you're choosing native grasses or low water use plants of any sort, is that you need to make choices that are going to work for you and the function you want out of your landscape. And then also keep those resources in mind, because as you mentioned at the top, we are in Earth Month, and we're also in National Lawn Care Month. And so our landscapes can provide us a lot of environmental benefits, but they need to be landscapes and plants that we want to have, and they need to function well for whatever purpose we may have. I'm always thinking about lawns, so I'm thinking about pets and kids and playing games and things of that nature.
Doctor, let me ask you this real quick before we let you go. Sometimes you're just inundated with this fertilizer, this treatment, this Does Scott's have a simple way we can address or find out what fertilizer we need, what supplements we need, what do we do with those chemicals and those herbicides and pesticides on our lawn?
Yeah, they do. They certainly do. And they make it very simple by having a 4-step program for lawn care where there are 1, 2, 3, 4 steps you take over the growing season to provide the nutrition that your lawn needs. Just like us, it's got to eat. And so the instructions and guidelines and precautions, all of those are going to be on the label of any product that you're choosing. And by the way, those labels are considered legal documents, and you're meant to read them and to follow the instructions for your safety as well as the safety of the environment.
Yeah, and not overuse it. And that's the danger, especially with water, groundwater.
Indeed. Indeed.
Well, Dr. Cope, thank you so much for this great information. And you can find out more by going to Scott Miracle-Gro. Want to thank them for this segment today. Doctor, have a great day. Be careful out there.
Thank you. You as well.
All right. Once again, find more information. Go to scottmiraclegrow.com. We'll take a quick break. We're back with more chat right after this.